Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hayle Olson. I upload videos every single Monday, every Wednesday, and I'm trying to do Fridays as well. For today's video, I'm going to be doing a pen test on the Erin Condren Life Planner. So I've got my 2018 Erin Condren Life Planner here, and I went ahead and tested 38 different pens. We've got reds, purples, blacks, and blues, and then the brand of pen, the weight of the pen, I've got marker pens, all that kind of stuff. I went ahead and tried out a bunch of different ones. And the reason I did it in the 2018 is so that we could compare it to the new 2019 Life Planner as well. So I went ahead and tried out all of the pens in both planners so we could kind of compare the two and see if there's any differences. From what I'm aware, Erin Condren used the exact same paper in both of the planners, so there shouldn't be much of a difference, if any at all. The only thing that we're really looking for to see which pens work best on the weight of the paper they used and if they bleed through at all. The nice thing about this is also getting to see all the different ways that the pens write on the paper. Some of them are ballpoint, some of them are ink gel, some of them are marker pens, some of them are straight up permanent markers. So it's kind of nice to see how they all write on the paper and how they bleed, all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I've got my 2019 planner right here, and I just want to say right off the bat that the only pens that bled weren't even pens, they were permanent markers. So I grabbed a couple of my Sharpie permanent markers, and it was the last pen that I tested, and they were the only ones that bled through the paper. The reason that I'm doing this video today is because someone had commented on one of my other videos asking about what pens to use in their planner and which ones to avoid because they bleed through the pages. And immediately I thought to myself, oh, I should do a pen test. I think that's one of the best ways to figure out which pens work in your planner and which ones to avoid. With that being said, if there are any other kind of questions you have or videos that you want to see, make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know so that I can make videos that you guys are interested in. When I was getting ready to do this pen test, I had a few of my favorite pens on hand already, but I knew that I didn't have all of the favorite pens that are on the market really. So I went to one of the planner Facebook groups that I'm in and started a thread asking what everyone's favorite pens were. And in that thread I got a ton of comments suggesting all these different pens. Once I got everyone's recommendations, I picked out a few and went ahead and purchased them on Amazon so that I could try them out so that everyone can see all the different types of pens and how they work on the paper. With trying out all these different pens, I was really surprised by two of them in particular and the way that they wrote. They were the Pilot Friction Ball Slim and the Papermate Inkjoy 7mm. The reason that these two pens stuck out to me is because I already had very similar pens, but yet they wrote completely different. In college, I loved using the regular Friction Ball 7mm pen. It was my absolute favorite. It's an erasable pen, which makes it great for taking notes in college. But when I went ahead and tried the slim version of it, I was blown away. It's literally like writing with a pencil because it is so slim. And even saying that now, when I think about it, when I use the black version of the pen, it really does look like pencil on the paper because it's not very inky. It has kind of a gray coloring to it just because it's so thin. I actually really like that about these pens simply because then it looks like you're writing with pencil if that's something that you're interested in. I know a lot of times I love to write with really inky pens, but then other times I do like the look of a pencil. So this is something to consider if you like writing with pencil. Especially because it's erasable, so it's basically like you're writing with a pencil, but it's a pen. Now the other one, the Papermate Inkjoy. The similar pen that I have to that, I would say would be the Pilot G2, and it's in a 7mm as well. Now I have to say, the Pilot G2 7mm is probably my favorite all-time pen. Like hands down. I've used it for years, I've taken notes with it, I've done everything with these pens. They are my favorite. But when I tried the Papermate Inkjoy, I was blown out of the water completely. It is so smooth and silky to write with. It doesn't smudge hardly at all, and it's very inky. The Pilot G2 can also be very inky, but I was blown away by how much ink was coming out of this pen, and it looked very nice. So I might have to say that the Papermate Ink Joy might be my new favorite. I was always kind of hesitant about it. People were always saying it was their favorite, but I was so in love with the Pilot G2 that I did not want to try the Ink Joy. So you have to try this pen if you love G2s, because I know that you'll probably love this one as well. Another pen that I was really excited to get and try out was the Midliner, and these are actually highlighters. They're dual tipped, so they have a chiseled thicker end and a pointed thinner end as well. What I really like about these is that they come in a ton of colors and they're very transparent. They aren't like bright, vibrant, like Sharpie highlighters. These are very transparent, very subtle, and I really like that. I think these would be great for taking notes in college and just kind of adding a little accents throughout your writing. I know I've talked a lot about taking notes in college, and that's just because that's the most I've ever used pens in my life. I was constantly writing and taking notes, studying for exams, always using pens because I love to use pens over pencils. And having the wide variety of color really helped me to organize my notes better and to study in a more efficient way. So I wanted to talk about my 3 favorite pens that I used in college all the time. And the first being the Pilot G2 7mm. Then we've got the Pilot Friction Ball in the 7mm, and then the Papermate Flare in medium. These 3 pens were my go-to when I was in college. I used them all the time. That being said, some of these other pens, oh wait, I used to use the Staedtler ones all the time too. My senior year I started using Staedtler pens, and I really liked these because they came in the case, so I could just kind of set them up in my case while I was taking notes, and I could easily grab in between them. I forgot about these. I loved these pens. Now I do want to point out really quickly, when I was doing the pen test in my Erin Condren planner, I was using some pens that I had bought during my senior year of college. That being said, I had used them the entire year and the ink started to go out. So when I was writing with the blue Friction Ball 7mm pen, I was able to write maybe like the first word, and then after that I couldn't write anything else. There was just no ink left in this pen. So I'm sorry that you guys couldn't see that in the dark blue color, but all the other ones still had ink in them. So you can still see what it looks like in the other colors. So as far as what pens to use in your Erin Condren planner, I really can't recommend one over the other just because it's personal preference. The only ones that really bled through the page were the Sharpie permanent markers, and I would never really use them in my planner anyway. If I were to ever use a permanent marker in my planner, I would probably be writing on top of a sticker that's going on the page. That's really the only instance. Otherwise, I think you're free to use whichever pens that you love, specifically because none of them bleed through the page. It's really personal preference and what you are looking for. So if there's one that you want to try out, just go ahead and try it. If you don't like it, then you can go ahead and try a different one until you find the one that you love. Alright you guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit that red subscribe button if you loved this video. And if you would like to help me out, commenting and sharing this video with others will help my channel immensely, and I will be forever grateful. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye!